Welcome back to the Streets of London property news and property deals. Let's jump straight into today's article, and it reads: the most expensive London home on the open market has been reduced by a whopping, wait for it, £10 million. That's a £10 million price reduction. It carries on. The 9,400 square foot apartment was listed at the end of last year, receiving a £10 million price cut earlier this month. A Knightsbridge Penthouse, which was listed for £80 million last year, making it the most expensive property in the country. I don't think so. To be publicly listed on Rightmove, okay, maybe on Rightmove, has received a £10 million price cut. Now, the 9,400 square foot apartment spans the 10th floor of the Knightsbridge Apartments, which is opposite the most expensive block in London, which is number 1 Hyde Park, and features a 2,500 square foot roof terrace with a 10-meter glass sided swimming pool, a sauna with a built-in TV, and views over Big Ben and London Eye, Harrods and Hyde Park. Now, I think what's important to note here is, I always say, try and work out what the price per square foot is in your location, and properties are sold on a price per square foot basis. And prior to number 1 Hyde Park, which smashed the records with £6,000 per square foot, we were seeing averages of £2,000 to £3,000 per square foot. The Candy brothers, they took the luxury property market just to another level. This is working out to be £80 million, £8,500 per square foot, which is a very, very high number. Let's carry on. The 5-bedroom property appeared on Channel 4's Britain's Most Expensive Houses earlier in the year, with Park Lord founder, which is an agency, Joshua Marks, keen to capitalize on the exposure. We thought it would be a good publicity, he said at the time. Yes, it is good publicity, and any publicity is good publicity, even bad, so we'll take it positively. But despite interest from billionaires, the property was reduced by 10 million, an eighth of its asking price, on September the 7th. Now, what's quite interesting here is it says that there was interest from billionaires, but when it comes to actually viewing the Knightsbridge, I don't think it's an apartment block for billionaires. Maybe multi-millionaires, but billionaires tend to be wanting more privacy, more exclusivity. And whilst the Knightsbridge is in a great location, I think that the number of units that are in there and also the resident mix is not one that I would say billionaires would like to be mixing with. And I'm not saying that in a bad way, it's just reality. There's other property addresses and different styles of property that would suit billionaires, and we've got Billionaires Row in Avenue Road in St John's Wood, we've got the Bishop's Avenue, and we've also got Kensington Palace Gardens, and that's what we call billionaire properties. Let's carry on. This penthouse at the Knightsbridge Apartments has attracted a lot of interest. It is still the highest value property in London on the open market, and it may well remain the highest value property on the London market. We've shown several ultra high net worth individuals over the past few months, but unfortunately have yet to find a buyer. Is it the price? Is it the location? Is it the interior design? Is it the building? Or could it be the agent? All of these factors come into play. When you are showing a property to any buyer at this level, the knowledge and the experience and the expertise is so important. And what I always say, it's not only about the internal aspects of the property, but also the external factors play a major part. When I advise some high net worth clients, I always talk about the inside, the outside, the location, the surroundings, and other pros and cons of a property, because relationships with these types of clients are long term, and it's not just about the sale, it's about trying to be as knowledgeable and providing your expert opinion. The Knightsbridge Penthouse is not the only super home still looking for a buyer. The Whiteley's £39.5 million penthouse. Wow, £39.5 million for Whiteley's in Bayswater, unveiled last summer, is still on the market, for example, alongside Nick Candy's £175 million apartment in number 1 Hyde Park. But I mean, look, 175 million, number 1 Hyde Park, that's going to be on there for a long time. What I will say is 15, 20 years ago, there used to be millionaires, but now it's billionaires that are buying London property and such exclusive properties. Let's turn it back to Bayswater and Whiteley's £39.5 million to live off of Queensway in a new development surrounded by not very nice streets and a refined location. Bayswater is still a diamond in the rough, and it's still got a few decades to really catch up to some of the affluent areas and locations like Mayfair. That's just what I think. Let's carry on. It's an interesting time for London property, as while there has been a lot of bad press, there have been some significant deals that have happened at the very top end of the market. I agree, says Marks, who remains optimistic about the sale of the Knightsbridge Penthouse. He's got to stay positive. I think it will take more than one agent to possibly sell this. Let's finish off. It will be showcased again on Channel 4 before the end of the year, which gets millions of views worldwide. I don't think Channel 4 is going to be cutting the mustard. I think Instagram is phenomenal. The amount of wealthy people that are on these social media channels, and I get messages all the time, and it's really the way forward. Let's finish off. We are planning a winter soiree there for VIP agents to make sure the top agents in London know about the offering and can be well informed when presenting the opportunity to their clients. What they're offering here is a co-broke opportunity. That means they will split the fee by having other agents also show this property to potential buyers. Along with some good press and a bit of good fortune, I think this time round we will find a buyer. Yeah, maybe. There's a lot of bad press about London property prices, and you can see with this property that the price has come down by 10 million. There might be a few reasons for that. Was it overpriced in the first place? Is the property prices going down? How desperate is the seller? These are all factors. One thing I will say is that we know that it's a tough market. Prices are coming down for certain properties, and the question is, where is the bottom and how cheap can you get this particular property for, or other deals that are out there in the market? This has come down to £7,500 per square foot. We know that number 1 Hyde Park sold for £6,000 and is selling for less than £6,000 per square foot for some of the apartments. And I've got a couple of houses in Mayfair that we could pick up for circa £1,600 per square foot for freehold. Amazing houses that are newly refurbished and they're freehold without having to pay a hefty service charge too. So if you're interested in some off-market deals, do send me a message, get in touch. With that said, it's a little plug on my side. I hope you enjoyed this one. Thanks for watching The Streets of London, and I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye.